What is going down, my YouTube family? It is your boy Zeri from the XMG coming at you today to bring you Solius for Noobs. Now, I got a shout out to ask me to make this video, and I thought I already had. And since the event's over with, a lot of people just got him. I figured now's a good time to get it out. So I even got a video out in the last couple days. It's been really hectic for me at work. Even though I'm working from home, it's just been crazy busy for me. And it's very hard to try to find time to make videos with everyone being home. So, with that being said, if you're not part of the XMG family, click that subscribe button, turn on notifications, blah, 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 blah. So let's get into Solius for Noobs. Now, Solius is the best champion in the game, in my opinion. Hands down, the best. No mistake about it. Let's start with his stats. He does magic damage, so he comes in at 2940. So definitely not the best, but very good to start. Critical chance is pretty low at 20%. Health is at 21,359. His shield comes in at 31,167. So he is over 52k to start, which is extremely good, and that is awesome. Magic armor is fantastic at 42%, and physical armor is very good at 30%, so really can't complain there. Speed is at a very healthy 155. Potency 23% is about middle of the road. Tenacity 40% is extremely good. So what did we learn from Solius' stats? He's not really lacking anywhere except critical chance. He does deal some damage. So let's look at his move kit and see what we can learn a little bit more about him. Raging Sun deals 210% of magic damage to an enemy, a 15% chance to restore a random ability, and calls Nightingale in to assist. So we're looking at magic damage. The 15% chance to restore a random ability, that is just a bonus if you get it. And then call Nightingale in to assist if she is on the battlefield, is what he is really known for on his basic. His light wave heals all allies by 550% of Solius's magic damage. So again, we see magic damage, and a mass heal with 550% is awesome. Ammo's Blessing heals an ally by 40% of their max health. So that's big. It's their health, not Solius's. Then he applies an armor increase, tenacity increase, haste, damage increase, and cheat death for 2 turns. This move is just crazy overpowered, and it's just really good. Passive ability: when the battle starts, all allied human defenders receive an armor increase for 3 turns. All allied human healers and tacticians receive cheat death for 3 turns. And all allied human fighters receive a potency increase for 3 turns. If Nightingale is on the battlefield, she receives all these buffs as well. So he's benefiting the human population that just is crazy. And then you see, again, the synergy with Nightingale coming into play, which is just crazy good. The only bad thing about this passive is Solius can be used in any team. But essentially, you're losing the whole passive if you don't have any humans in the party with Solius. That's about the only real drawback about that passive. Then his leadership here: Guardian of the Sun, or Sun Guardian. Both the physical damage and magical damage of all allies from the order increases by 25%. That is big because it's not humans, it's order. Still, he's a great plug and play character, but the order is nice. The counter chance of all allied humans increases by 10% for each living human in the party. The critical chance of all elves increased by 5% for each living elf in the party. And the potency of all allied pandas is increased by 5% for each living panda in the party. So he does have a leadership that encompasses the whole order. It's not just a damage increase for all of them. His leadership reminds me a lot of Rantha, where it encompasses everybody. You're increasing damage, then giving everyone from that specific faction a buff. So all in all, this is just a great leadership. So what did we learn from his move kit? We learned he's very heavily reliant on magic damage. in all of his moves. That's what it boils down to, except for Animal's Blessing. His 90L synergy is just the best in the game, super OP, and his leadership really helps out, increasing the overall damage of your squad and their survivability. So we're going to talk about runes with this guy because he really doesn't need potency. He doesn't need really much of anything except for damage, survivability, and speed. So that's how we're going to rune him. You could rune him with a damage critical chance set. You could rune him with a damage health set. You could rune him with a speed health set, speed critical chance set. But I am going to rune him with a damage health set just to increase his survivability a little bit, give him a little more health, and then get that damage up there, because that is what we want him to do. We want him to deal some damage, and then we want his heals to be stronger. So we are going to do that. We're looking for secondary stats, obviously, of speed, damage, critical chance, health, because if he puts Animal's Blessing on himself, you want him to have health. And then we are looking at crit chance, and that's really about it. So we are going to rune him and be right back. So here we are, full rune amulet, went with the health damage set. And so let's start with what we're looking at. In the northern rune, we have a damage, tenacity, health, speed, and armor. I went with the speed primary in the northeastern with armor, critical chance, health, and damage. Then I went with armor, health, speed, and shield. Then in the southern rune, I went with damage. You could go critical chance here because he does have a low critical chance, but went with damage. 5 speed is awesome. Armor, shield, and health. In the southwestern rune, I went with shield. Now you could go with damage. You could go with health here, because if you do put Animal's Blessing on, the more health you have, the more he heals himself for. But really, you want the best secondary stats you can get, and I got damage, I got critical chance, and then I got 3 speed. The tenacity hit twice, meh, but that is the best one I was finding when I was doing this, and it fits a lot of the categories. Then in the northwestern rune, I went for damage, shield, speed, and health. Now you could go with again another health here if you want to make him abundantly survivable, but I went with damage to increase that damage to help with his healing. So taking a look at his stats, we brought up his magic armor by 713, bringing it to 3653, which is awesome. Only brought up his critical chance 2% essentially, but I didn't really focus on that, where we could have got that a little bit higher, maybe 30% if we put on a crit chance set and some primaries, maybe 33%. His health we brought up 2847 to 24206. Physical armor up 2%, magic armor up 2.2%, and then his shield we brought up 4155 to 35322, which puts it right almost 60k. We are just under 60k, so definitely good with what we did there. Speed we brought up 40 to 195, so he's almost at 200. Really can't go wrong with that. We didn't have to add any potency. He doesn't require it in his move kit. We got 3% more tenacity, bringing that up to 43.4%. All in all, extremely happy with what we did with Solius. We got his magic damage up, which increases his damage output and increases his healing. We got his health a little higher, so if he puts Animal's Blessing on himself, it'll help there. And then we got his speed to 195, so he's going a lot and he's going often. So you're talking about the scroll sync with Solius. We are looking at level 2 again. Remember, everything's at level 2. 95% of magic damage, calls in 90L to assist. Then he has 5% chance with some more magic damage to restore the random ability. Magic damage with the chance to restore a random ability. Light Wave at level 2, 230 of its magic damage, and then it's just more healing as it goes up. Animal's Blessing at level 2, 15% of their max health, applies armor increase and tenacity increase. Then we get haste, then we get damage increase, then we get cheat death, and then we get 10% more healing. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but essentially we're giving human defenders armor increase for 2 turns, healers, tacticians, cheat death for 2 turns, and 90L gets all of them. Then human fighters get potency, Then we get an armor increase at that lasts 3 turns instead of 2. Then we get cheat death added to healers and tacticians, and then we get the potency increase that lasts 1 more turn. Then taking a look at his leadership, again, we're not going to read this whole thing, but you get a damage increase by 8%, counter chance for all humans, you get a crit chance for elves, you get more magic damage, potency to pandas, more magic damage, more damage, more damage, and then you increase the human counter chance to 10%. So really you want to look at how you're using Solius. Are you using Solius as a healer, a leader? And that's really where you're going to want to start. But he does have the best leadership in the game for the order side, so I'm going to start there. You're going to start with his Sun Guardian leadership ability, and you're going to take it right to level 6. Then you're going to come to his mass heal, take that right to level 6. Then you are going to come to his Ammo's Blessing and take that right to level 6. Basic to level 6, and then passive to level 6. That's the way I did it on my main, and it seemed to work out very well for me. It's going to take you a little bit to get him up and running, but once you do, you will not be sorry. So to recap, we're starting with Sun Guardian, his mass heal, Ammo's Blessing, basic ability, passive. So there it is. There's Solius for Noobs. He's a very basic character when you think about it. He doesn't require a lot other than magical damage and speed. He is just simply amazing, so congrats to everybody out there who got him. He is extremely viable at 5-star. You can use him right away. Once you get the scrolls into him, definitely start using him. You're going to see improvements in your team, your arena rank right away. Just a fantastic character. But again, he's very basic. You don't need to think a lot with him. You don't need to do a lot with him. His synergy with Nightingale is the best synergy in the game and is extremely OP'd. And again, I said it before, if they nerf that ability, I would be okay with it because they are going to be meta for so long. So with that being said, just a quick video I wanted to get out for everybody today. There's Solius for Noobs. Let me know if you got him in the comments below. And again, if you're not part of that XMG family, click that subscribe button, turn on notifications if you are part of the XMG family. I love you all. Hopefully everybody's staying healthy out there. I'll see you in the next one. I'm out.